All right. Hey, everybody, and welcome to our special edition Team Fit Force call. It's Monday night, April 25th, and tonight we have a extra special guest speaker. He's coming to us. His name is Josh Coates. I don't know where he is on y'all's screen, but on mine, he's like right in the middle, down on the bottom, about 4 rows down. You can wave real quick, say hi. But Josh is a member of the John Maxwell team, and y'all know my obsession with John Maxwell. He's the founder of Legacy Leadership. He specializes in putting PD and leadership together for us coaches in ways that we can understand them. He's personally working with some of our Team Fit Force coaches, and he's also, he mentors 20 plus Beachbody coaches that aren't part of Team Beachbody, aren't part of Team Fit Force, sorry. He is currently working with one of the top 10 coaches and has worked with 4 of them in the past. He runs online group trainings. I know a bunch of you guys are actually in one of his recruiting trainings right now and a few other trainings. So a lot of you already know who he is. But right now he's usually got groups that are like over 70 plus people, most of them all coaches. So he really knows his stuff. He speaks regularly for team calls and Super Saturdays. And, you know, I personally have listened to a lot of his messages and playbacks of calls that he's done. I've heard nothing but amazing things about him from our coaches that are working with him. So he really is just going to talk to you guys tonight. He's going to encourage you, inspire you, challenge you to grow, really hit on some points that I know a lot of us, myself included, are struggling with or could improve on. And he's really just going to help us build our business and the life that we've always really wanted. So Josh, I am going to just shut up and hand it right on over to you and let you take it away. Thank you again so much for doing this for us. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome, Lauren. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it so much. It's always, can you hear me okay? Just to make sure, because I haven't talked yet. One of the biggest honors in the world to speak on a team call, because Lauren has invested years of her life, sweat, blood, tears, all of that into your guys' lives, and I could screw all of that up in just 1 hour. So I appreciate you, Lauren, being willing to let me take over your call and speak to your team. So first of all, hello to all of my friends. I know many of you, I recognize faces and names, obviously some of my one-on-one clients, but then also people from training groups. Thanks for hopping on tonight, and hello to everyone else who doesn't know who the heck I am. Thanks for taking a Monday night to hang out and to invest in yourself in your business. So tonight I want to hit on a few specific points, okay? Like me and Lauren were kind of chatting back and forth about what she felt like the team needed and what I had to offer that would hopefully fit those needs. And we just didn't really come up with just one topic for you guys. So you guys are going to get like 3 of my topics tonight condensed into, you know, I won't go any longer than 4 or 5 hours tonight. So no, seriously, I'll try to keep it. I won't tell you what I'm going to keep it at. Just hang out with me and find out, okay? But tonight I'm going to hit on some stuff that I know everyone in the business struggles with. I talked to hundreds of Beachbody coaches. I've been working with Beachbody coaches for close to a year now. Brittany Powers was my very first client. She's actually my wife's upline coach. And it all started with her. It all started with just having crap tons of free calls with Beachbody coaches. Back in the day, I used to offer people free calls just to get anyone to talk to me. And so basically, yeah, you go ahead and eat all you want, Lauren. We'll be here. Everyone's gonna be eating, right? Bunch of fitness coaches. Everybody's got done working out or something. Everybody's hungry, right? So what I've been able to do from listening to so many people is find the common problem. Someone saying that I'm skipping on their screen. Am I skipping on everyone's? Help me out here. No? Okay, cool. So it's just someone's internet that's laggy. If I am, just chat like crazy, wave at me, do something crazy. Sometimes I don't pay attention to the chat because I have ADD and I get distracted and then I forget what I'm talking about, which is one of the topics tonight, avoiding ADD. So I want to hit on some specific things that I know you're going through, I know you're struggling with, and then give you some specific implementations. Okay? One of my favorite sayings is, if there is no homework, we just had a good chat. Hopefully, if you've been in my groups, you've heard me say something similar to that. So I want to hit on your mindset. Find out what's really going on the inside. If I just give you stuff to do, you can go try it. If your mindset isn't right, it's not going to work. So I want to hit on your mindset first. And then we're going to talk about some things to do. But like I said, I've got like 3 different categories I want to hit on. So I'm going to try to not hit them quick, but kind of hit them quick so that we can get through everything that I feel like you guys will help you tonight. So the first thing that I want to talk about is everyone in this business. It's not just this business. It's really entrepreneurs in general, but especially Beachbody coaches, because let's face it, part of your business is also working out, right? And taking pictures of yourself working out and making videos of yourself working out. And so a common problem we run into is everyone is overwhelmed. Raise your hand if you've ever felt overwhelmed. Anybody? Anybody ever felt overwhelmed? If you haven't ever felt overwhelmed, I have to wonder if you've actually started working your business yet, because there's so many trainings and so many different videos and so many different things to do. So one of the things that I want to help you guys do tonight is learn how to focus on the things that matter. If you're taking notes, write down those specific words. Focus on the things that matter. Here's the thing. Too many people in this business are either not focused at all, or they're focused on all the crap that doesn't matter. And I did this my whole first year of business, guys. I have a training group called Clarity and Focus, specifically because my whole first year, I didn't have either of those 2 things, and it sucked. My first year in business, a whole full year, I grossed $500. That's really, really, really bad. Really bad. Especially if you heard what I now charge for just 1 hour of my time. Like what, I worked like 2.5 hours. So basically my whole first year was just crap, but it's because I was working really, really, really hard doing all the wrong stuff. Anybody ever felt like you're working really, really hard and you're going, the paycheck that's showing up on Thursday is not really in line with the kind of work and effort that I'm putting in? Because even if I just had a day job making minimum wage, I should have made like $300 this week, and I made like 60. Anybody ever that happened to? Or maybe you feel like you're putting in the work of someone who should be making a 6-figure income the way you're working, and you're barely making a 4-figure income. Why is that? Because we don't focus on the right things. Now, I know technically this probably isn't in the meal plan, but how many of you have ever been to a Starbucks? Raise your hand if you've ever been to a Starbucks. Anybody? Okay, good. I'm not alone. I'm not the only one cheating a little bit here and there. I like to get coconut milk and feel like that makes me like a better person, right? When you go to Starbucks, let me ask you this. How quick and efficient are they to get drinks served? In fact, I have a buddy who has a local coffee shop in downtown Tulsa. I live in Tulsa, Oklahoma. There are more than just cows here. We have a few coffee shops too. And I was chatting with him today, and I was like, man, you know what would be really cool is if someone would put a coffee shop in South Tulsa. South Tulsa is like the suburbs, okay? It's like we have like the trendy part of Tulsa, if you can imagine that, trendy in Oklahoma, I don't know, whatever. But then we have like the south side that's like super suburbs. Everyone's super loaded, drives Cadillac Escalades, and thinks they live in Orange County. And I was like, what would be cool is if someone put a local coffee shop in South Tulsa, all they would need to do is have a drive-through. And he was like, no, that would never work. And I was like, what do you mean it would never work? I've had this idea forever. I know it would work, right? Because it's my idea. Of course it will work. And he's like, you could never, ever, ever have a drive-through in South Tulsa because to make quality coffee actually takes time. And people in South Tulsa want to go to Starbucks where it takes 30 seconds to get your espresso and then you drive off. And no local coffee company that makes quality coffee can churn out drinks every 30 seconds like Starbucks does. And I was just like, my dreams were shattered. They really were, because it's my dream to have a good local coffee shop in the suburbs where I live. That would just be the best thing ever, right? My point is this. Starbucks can crank out coffee every like 30 seconds. And when they don't, we get pissed, don't we? The guy in front of me today at Starbucks, I swear, it took like 3 minutes for them to get him his drinks. When they hand him over, it's because he's got a cup holder with like 4 drinks in it. I'm like, come on, really? You got to order free drinks and hold up the whole line. We're all trying to get our coffee and just get out of here, right? And you got to hold up the line by ordering 4 things. I don't know why you need 4. Apparently you got for the whole office. Why don't you just go in? Just go in and order for the whole office. Don't ruin my drive-through experience, right? I tried to be nice. But this is how it feels sometimes, right? Because we want it right now. Do you know why Starbucks can give it to you right now? Because they have a very efficient system. Have you ever watched the way they do things? You ever actually paid it? I'm like always watching people. I'm kind of a creeper like that. And I just sit and I love to like observe. And they've got one person that rings you up. They've got another person that like actually fixes the espresso. Their only responsibility is to get espresso in the cup. They know if you need 2 shots or 3 shots or 4 shots, or if you're me, like I need 7 shots. And then they have a whole nother person that adds the syrup and the milk, throws a lid on it, and then hands it to the person that's waiting. Or if you're at the drive-thru, there's literally someone there that just literally gets the coffee from that person and then hands it to you. They have a very efficient system, which means they can do a lot of stuff in very little time. And I don't know about you guys, but 99.9% of the time that I go through Starbucks, it tastes exactly the way I expected it to taste. And when it doesn't, I'm really mad. But anyways, that's not the point. My point is they're very efficient and very productive because they do the exact opposite of most Beachbody coaches. You know what most Beachbody coaches do? Most Beachbody coaches sit down. It's time to work the business. And we play on word swag for 30 or 45 minutes, trying to choose which shade of turquoise we should use. I think I might have used that shade of turquoise yesterday. Maybe I need to go with a darker maybe I actually need to use teal. I don't know what the difference is between turquoise and teal, but Beachbody coaches do apparently. You know what? Actually, I'm really feeling more of a fuchsia today. Maybe we'll go with fuchsia. And 45 minutes later, you finally have a post created, and all it says is, I love life. And then you spend 45 minutes trying to decide how to type up what should go with your picture that you just spent 45 minutes on. An hour and a half goes by and you are exhausted. I mean, so many decisions you've had to make between fuchsia and hot pink and turquoise and teal. You don't even know what to do with yourself. And then on top of that, you retyped what you were going to say 40 different times because you were so worried about whether or not that picture was going to get 12 likes or 15 likes, depending on how you worded it. And here's what sucks is then you take all of this anxiety and you go try to fix dinner for your kids, or maybe you go to pick up dinner because you're so exhausted you can't cook now. And on the way there, you're yelling and screaming at your kids. And you come home and you remember there's a team call that you still have to get on. So you go get on the team call. When the team call's over, you're inspired and you're fired up. So you're like, man, I am so excited. Tonight I'm going to design my own website. And it's going to be killer, man. I'm not going to have one of them cheap websites. I'm going to have one of those really freaking good websites. I'm talking this stuff's going to be incredible. So you spend 6 hours researching who should host your website only to realize you don't even have a logo. Well, holy crap, I'm going to need a freaking logo. I've got to call the graphic designer tonight and find out who can get me a logo. And then we spend 20 hours thinking and worrying about the logo design and the color and whether or not we should have, someone just typed squirrel. Exactly. I think you guys are all getting my point, right? Beachbody coaches and just people in general. I don't want to single you out like you're the only ones that struggle with it. People in general, we absolutely suck at focusing on the things that matter. I spent my whole first year debating on logos and colors and websites. And then I decided I needed a YouTube channel. And then someone told me, I listened to another Shalene podcast that told me I needed to get this app and then that app. And then I need to start a podcast. And before you know it, I've started 30 different projects that I've never even finished. Anybody ever felt that way? I'm seeing from some of the looks a few guilty people. And so here's the thing, guys. As long as we are scatterbrained and all over the place, a few things are going to happen. Number one, we're never going to finish anything. Lewis Howes, who does the School of Greatness, I absolutely love what he says. He says, finished and profitable is better than perfect and unfinished. Much better to be finished where it can actually profit than to spend 4 years debating the colors. You're not making money as long as you're debating colors, right? So number one, we never finish anything, which means, guess what? We never make money. But number two, we actually find ourselves more stressed out than someone who would have actually accomplished more, because not only are we never finishing anything, but on top of that, we, like in our brains, are always thinking about all of the things that we've started and haven't finished. And so 1 second you're fixing dinner, the next second you're trying to remember which project you need to work on. The next second you're trying to, wait, did I need to record a YouTube? I feel like I was supposed to record a YouTube video today. And you get to the point you can't even remember what's happened, what and when and where, which causes you to feel like your business is just completely gone crazy. And what's worse is you're not making any money. Now, if I feel completely overwhelmed and have a big fat wad of cash in my pocket, I don't mind quite as much. But when I feel completely exhausted and overwhelmed and want to pull my hair out and I don't even get a paycheck for it, I get really pissed. And I'm not saying that you should have to choose one or the other, because I believe that you can feel better than you've ever felt, produce more in less time, and make more money. How many of you would love to make more money in less time with less stress? Anybody? Lauren is all caps there. Me! Let me give you the secret to this. Are you guys ready for the secret? I'm going to give you a magical formula that's going to change your life forever. I promise none of you have ever even heard of it. Are you ready for it? This is something brand new that I personally made up. And it's helped me have all the success that I've had. Number one, you ready for it? You have to become a product of whatever it is you're trying to sell. Okay? Number two, you have got to talk to lots of people. And number three, you got to read books by other successful people. Now, I invented this formula, guys. And then someone had the audacity to call it the 3 vital behaviors. Oh my, they stole it. Like Carl Deichler straight up stole it from me. No, I'm just kidding. Obviously, you figured out by now I'm messing with you. I didn't invent this. It's not a magic formula. Sorry, I forgot, Lauren. I forgot. You guys now have a fourth one, and that's recognition. That's recognizing people. So, but here's the thing. After an entire year of working my business and just freaking gerbil on the wheel and realizing I was going nowhere, and I was going nowhere really slow. Some people say really fast. I was going really slow to nowhere. And so I stopped and I thought of what are the things that I have to do every single day to put money in my pocket. Screw all the other stuff that doesn't put money in my pocket, okay? If it's not putting money in my pocket, I don't need it right now. I just need to focus on a few, get really, really good things at a few things that put money in my pocket. Guys, do you know how many Beachbody coaches, I'm not going to ask for a show of hands, because I don't want to embarrass anybody tonight, do you know how many Beachbody coaches work their business 3 to 4 hours a day and never even accomplish all 3 vital behaviors? There's a lot of them. And knowing what I've seen from other team calls and from talking to other people, I would bet if we have 41 people on the call tonight, I would be willing to bet that about 35 of you do not complete your 3 vitals on a daily basis. Why? Because A, we're avoiding the things we don't like to do by playing on word swag. Don't get me wrong, I love word swag. Word swag is beautiful. It's my jam, okay? I love it. I absolutely love it. Playing on Rona designs, Rona, I never know how you pronounce it. Playing on Canva, playing on PicMonkey. We do all of the things that we enjoy doing and avoid the things that make money. How many of you on a regular basis sell a challenge pack from one of your daily posts? I'm not talking about a once a month. I mean, on a regular basis, on a daily basis, someone messages you and says, man, I saw that bright fuchsia and I was like, I'm in. I need a challenge pack and I need it now. I would bet that most of you, unless your name is Brittany Powers and you have 85,000 followers on Instagram, I would bet most of you rarely make a sale from a post. Now, I'm not saying that posts aren't important, because I believe they are. If you're not posting, people just don't even know that you exist. And when you message them, they wonder who the heck nothing's weirder than getting a message from someone and then going to look at their page and they haven't posted in like 9 years. You're like, wait, what? Who are you? I automatically think they're like really weird and I should block them. So you do have to post. But you don't have to spend an hour and a half a day on your posts and then never even start a new convo. I'll tell you right now, 42 people on the call, I'll tell you right now, unless this is a more mature call than what I'm dealing with, and maybe it is, I'll tell you right now, 35 of you are not having conversations on a daily basis. And that's just some real talk. Nobody likes real talk, but sometimes we need it, right? Probably 35 people are not having daily conversations. Or if you are, I would bet you're doing this thing I like to call forming to death. Meaning, for the last 6 months, you've been talking to that person about their dog, and they don't even know you're a Beachbody coach. And it is a very nice dog that they have, and it's really, really cool that you love their dog so much too, and it's really awesome that their dog is now turned 8 and you still haven't invited them to a challenge group, and you've been talking to them about their dog since it was a puppy. And it's been a great 8 years talking about their dog, but at some point somebody needs to either buy a challenge pack or we need to talk to somebody else, because otherwise you're just wasting 8 years of your life. Am I right? And so what we have got to do is we have got to focus on the right things. And we have got to put our time and our energy, we've got to invest it just like you would with your money. How many of you would invest a whole bunch of money into something? Now, you guys just all admitted to me basically that your posts don't make you money. Now, how many of you, if I told you right now, guys, I've got this beautiful business. I mean, it is just gorgeous. We've got this pretty sign for it. The sign is bright pink and turquoise, and oh gosh, it's just gorgeous. And we're going to put out this sign, and we're going to sit and wait for people to come to our business. We have the best product in the world. We're not advertising other than the sign. How many of you would invest your money in that business? You'd be like, are you advertising? Are you on the radio? Are you going to be on TV? Are you going to hand out coupons? Are you going to do something so that people know who the heck you are other than that pretty sign? Because otherwise, I ain't giving you none of my money. We know with our money not to invest our money in places that don't give us a return, right? Some of you maybe have heard of ROI. It stands for return on investment. How is the ROI? Means, do I get anything out of this, or am I just giving to charity? I don't mind giving to charity, but you're not charity, so you better be giving me something back for my money. So we're that careful with our money, but then we have this other thing in life that is more valuable than our money. It's our time. How many of you have kids? Raise your hand if you have kids. How many of you have a spouse? How many of you have people in your life that you love? How many of you have the dog that we've been talking about for 8 years? I'm just kidding. If that's the case, then your time is 1,000,000 times more valuable than your money. I can always get more money. I can launch a new training group. I can talk to 100 new people. I can find ways to make more money. If I have to, I'd go get a loan if I needed it that bad. I don't like to do that. But if I had to, I could even get a loan. But no one on this planet can give you any more time. Every single time you do something in your business, that's a minute you'll never get back with your family. That's an hour you can never spend with your kids. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I love my wife and kids more than anything on the planet. No way in the world am I flushing down the toilet time that could have been spent with them. If I'm going to spend time away from my wife and away from my kids, it better be something that puts money in my pocket so that I can at least give them a better life. Would you guys agree? So number one lesson for tonight is I need all of you to eat that frog. We've all heard that statement before, right? You guys have all heard of the book, Eat That Frog. I need you to do the thing you have been avoiding. And I need you to do it first thing every single day. Last week, I started a new system that I absolutely hate, but I just have to do. I worked a job for 9.5 years detailing cars. I hated it so bad. I had to be at work every morning at 6 a.m. Going to work before the sun comes up is just, there's something ungodly about that. Like, God created the sun to come up at a certain time, and until that comes up, no one should be awake, right? Going to work in the dark is miserable, right? And so here's the thing. When I quit my job to do this full time, greatest thing in the world, I said, I will never wake up early again for as long as I live. I am going to sleep till 8 o'clock every freaking day. I will roll out of bed when it's time to start the day, and I ain't rolling out of bed a second before then. But I've been realizing I'm not getting done the things that I need to get done. In fact, my health journey has been slipping. My wife's pregnant, and I feel like I'm having a child as well with the way this tummy is kind of growing on me. I think I'm about 3 months pregnant. And I finally decided, Josh, as much as you don't want to wake up early, health is a very important thing to you. I love to work out. I love what working out does for me. I don't always love working out, right? But the only way that that's going to happen is you got to eat your frog. So I started waking up every morning at 7. Before I do anything else, before I take my kids to school, I read for 30 minutes. I work out for 30 minutes. I hate waking up. I feel sick when I wake up. Is anybody else, when you wake up, do you just feel sick? Like, I literally feel sick for the first hour that I'm awake. Doesn't matter if I wake up at 5 in the morning or 10 in the morning. I just feel sick for like an hour. And I finally decided, you know what? It really doesn't matter when I wake up. I always feel sick. You might as well wake up early and accomplish something. So that's what I've been doing. So I live what I preach sometimes, most of the times. I try to. So I'm going to ask you to eat that frog. Whatever it is that you have been avoiding doing, write it down right now. Okay? At the end of this call, we're all gonna share our frogs in the team page. Okay, that's gonna be our first homework assignment. Okay, somebody write that down for me. Stephanie Cram, you're a great student. You got it wrote down. First homework assignment is we're all gonna share our frogs. Okay. But let's talk about the next thing, because focusing on the important things is very, very, very valuable. However, I know that sometimes we have people that are like, dude, I've been doing the 3 vitals for like a year. I'm selling some challenge packs, but like my business ain't going nowhere. And it's because of this common problem that I'm running into everywhere I go. I can't recruit coaches. Anybody ever struggled with that before? There's a reason my Facebook ad has like 280 comments on it, because my Facebook ad opens like this. Are you a Beachbody coach struggling to recruit others who want to work the business? And I've got all of you just in that one sentence. Like, everyone just throws money at me. All I have to do is say that one sentence and I get 280 comments on my ad. So I know that everyone is struggling with their recruiting game. And again, it comes down to focusing on the right things. So let's talk about some of the things you need to focus on if you want to recruit, okay? Number one, we all know we need to be a product of the product, right? But here's the deal, guys. How many of you have ever seen people running laps in the neighborhood? Anybody? Anybody have a neighborhood where there's, people running and whatever, jogging out for their morning run or afternoon run? How many times have you chased one of them down and said, hey, I see that you're running. You look like you're in great shape. Would you coach me? Anybody ever done that? No one's ever done that, okay? If you did, I imagine the person would look at you really, really weird, right? Why? Because it is a weird thing to reach out to strangers who aren't trainers and say, would you help me learn how to do that, right? So here's the thing. We all have to be a product of the product, but too many of you are posting workout videos and workout pictures without ever even mentioning the fact that you're a coach and that people can come to you if they need help. Now that sounds so simple, but almost no one's doing it. We post workout videos every single day and we wonder, why is no one reaching out to me wanting to buy a challenge pack? They know I work out. Well, I could go to Planet Fitness right now and find a bunch of people that work out. That doesn't mean I'm going to ask them to coach me. If they're at Planet Fitness, I'm definitely not asking them to coach me. I don't know about you guys, but the Planet Fitness here in Tulsa gives away free pizza every Monday night. What? Free pizza after your workout? I think some people show up just for the pizza and never even work. They're just paying the $10 a month to show up every Monday night and get free pizza. That's a pretty good deal, I guess. You have got to advertise. Now, I know you guys hate the word advertise because that sounds salesy, right? Nobody likes to be salesy. But you have got to advertise that you're a freaking coach and that people can come to you if they need help. And if you don't want to be salesy, guess what? You don't have to be salesy. How salesy is it to say, oh man, I got my workout in today. It was tough, but I was able to get it. I'm so thankful for the accountability group that I run that helps keep me in check on my own fitness journey. See how I just threw in there that I run accountability groups? Now, if I run accountability groups, I probably have people in it, which means I help people, right? It goes beyond just me working out. It means I actually help people. And then you can always end it with, have you ever wondered what it would be like to have accountability for your goals? Hit me up with a message and I'd love to chat about it. Now you've actually advertised that you help people as opposed to, hey, look at my fun workout video. Oh, by the way, I got new workout pants. And they're bright pink and turquoise, just like my word swag post. There's nothing wrong with getting fun clothes, okay? We all know that's part of the business. Is like, this business would be boring if you didn't get new workout clothes every weekend, right? I'm even guilty of doing it. I'm always looking for a new workout tank top. I can't help it. It's like, it pulls you in. Once you do Beachbody programs, it's like a rule. You have to get new workout clothes once a week. Otherwise your videos start to look lame, right? When you're wearing the same shirt all the time. All you've got to do is be intentional about letting people know what you do, okay? So the second vital behavior, invite. I like to split up into daily posts, and I like to split up into invites, actual like conversations with people, okay? Here's another thing that people think, that they don't know how to post about the business. It is very tricky to post about the business, isn't it? Isn't it so tricky to tell people the fact that you've lost weight, that you're happier than you've ever been before, more confident than you've ever been before, have better friends than you've ever had before, a more positive environment than you've ever had before? Could any of you mention just one of those things in a daily post? See how we overthink it? See, I think what happens is we see, I'm getting a little ahead of myself here, but I think we see posts like Megan Ewaldson's Facebook ad that she runs where she bought a brand new 4Runner with her Beachbody check. And we go, well, crap. I don't know how I'm going to post about the business because I didn't buy no brand new 4Runner. Not with my Beachbody check. I mean, I have a brand new 4Runner that I have a bunch of debt to, but I'm making like $100 a week. How am I going to post? Here's what you failed to think of. How many of you signed up for Beachbody saying, I want to make enough money to buy a brand new 4Runner? Anybody? In fact, I rarely run into people that signed up with Beachbody to make a crap ton of money. Now, that's a product of working for the business if you put in the time and put in the effort and put in the energy. But most people said, I just want to help somebody. Am I right? And we are worried that we can't talk and post about the business because we haven't entered the Millionaires Club yet. When that's not anything that drew us to the business anyways, so why would we assume that that's the only thing that draws people to the business? Post about how much happier you are. Post about how much more confident you are. Post about how much more energy you have. But here's the thing. You got to focus. It's got to be focused, guys. It's got to be focused. Meaning, every single day, I'm going to make sure one of my posts mentions Beachbody, mentions the business opportunity. For instance, I'm so thankful that I'm sitting here at home, right next to my kids who are watching cartoons. And even though I'm here with my kids, I'm still able to check in on my clients all around America that right now are getting their life changed and growing in confidence, something like that. That wasn't the greatest wording in the world, but you get the point. See how easy that was? I'm so thankful that I could be hanging out at Starbucks right now, getting espresso in 30 seconds, and then checking in on my challenge group. How many people are at work at that moment wishing they could be at Starbucks? Right? I'm so thankful. See how easy this is, guys? But there's got to be focus. See, most of you know this, and you've heard this, but you've never been intentional about making it happen. So what I want you to do, let me ask you this. How many of you have a daily checklist that you work off of? You better, because I know Lauren's provided with you. And if Lauren hasn't, I know Brandy has. And if Brandy hasn't, I know somewhere along the line, Christine Dwyer has a checklist, right? So number one, if you want to focus, use your checklist. Okay? I know that sounds like super simple, but nobody seems to do it. So number two, add on to that checklist anything that you need to be intentional about. So you may want to add on to the checklist one business post. Just like Lauren said in the chat down there, breadcrumbing. All top coaches breadcrumb the business every single day. Jab, jab, hook. Is that what it's called? Jab, jab. I always forget the name of that book. But you know the point. We want to give little breadcrumbs, and then one day we want to blow the hook with the right hook. Thank you, Emily. With the big business opportunity, okay? The other one is invites. So here's the other thing that's challenging for people. I've learned how to kind of invite to the challenge group, but now I'm like, how do I just invite someone to the business opportunity? That's kind of weird, right? What's funny about that, guys, is that I hear people say all the time the number one objection that they get is money. Would you guys agree? Raise your hand if you get the money objection a lot. So here's what's funny, is we get the money objection more than any other objection we get. And yet we think it's awkward to offer people a job. What you're telling me is everyone you know and reach out to is a bunch of broke people that can't afford $150 to get a challenge pack. And for some reason, we've never thought to offer them a way to make money. Does that make sense, guys? So here's the thing I need you to understand. The business opportunity is simply one more product we offer. Does that make sense? See, the problem is somewhere up here, we like think they're selling challenge packs, and then the business opportunity is like, whoa, that's like the hard stuff, man. Only the real serious people can handle that kind of pressure, right? To just talk about the business to a stranger. But the thing is, it's just one more product we offer. Someone tells you they don't have money, I can't afford a challenge pack. Well, I know you told me that you really, really, really want to lose weight, you want to feel better, you want to gain confidence. So let me ask you this. If you can't afford a health journey, what if I could teach you how to make money having a health journey? See how awesome that sounds? I would love to make money having a health journey. Like, who's going to say no to that if they actually want a health journey, right? Now, there is an upfront investment just like any other business. But have you ever heard of another business that you could start up for $150 at the get-go? Yeah, but then they can't afford that. They can't afford to start throwing money. They don't have the money for that. Well, let me ask you this. Do you really think if you don't, I get it, I know life is crazy, and I know we have bills and we have debt and we have these budgets that we're trying to stick to, but let me ask you this. If you don't have $150 to invest in your health and your family's future, shouldn't that be a sign that something needs to change? Now, the question is, are you willing to ask those kind of questions? I promise you start asking questions like that, and a lot of people are going to stop telling you they don't have any money. The question is, are you willing to ask the real tough questions? They're not fun to ask people, right? Because you've been there and you've had that same struggle. But let's be real here, guys. Do we want to help people or do we not? Anybody on here want to help people? Now, if we got a whole bunch of people in North America that are in so much debt and having so many problems and so many issues that they can't afford $150 for a challenge pack, shouldn't we see a need? Shouldn't we that much more want to help people? And I think we all by this point know that if someone says they don't have $150, they're lying, because they're messaging you back on their iPhone that they pay $150 a month to keep activated. Am I right? Or on their $1,000 MacBook. Or from the Wi-Fi that they connected to in their $35,000 car. Everybody has $150. The question is, are you finding their pain? I make this statement in The Art of Recruiting. If you fail to find their pain, you will fail to get paid. If people don't want to sign up for the business opportunities because you failed to find their pain, I promise you this, you find people's pain, you ask them enough questions, get them talking enough, you'll find that one, they'll either sign up, or two, they may not sign up, but they'll be like, I'm going to get back to you. Like, I know I'm not doing it, but I will get back to you next. Like, there's a sense of urgency because you showed them how bad they need the business. But you've got to realize it's just another product. We've got to get that beat into our head. The business opportunity, honestly, is probably the best product we have to offer because it comes with all the other products, right? But you can actually make money as well. Okay? Someone said, what do you mean they're paying? Good question. Good question. So most of you, I'm sure, yes, they're why, exactly. But let me just go into just real quick, a little deep, hit a side note here. When you say, what do you mean they're paying? This is what I mean. When you're talking to someone that you're as a potential customer, a potential coach, you should be asking questions to find out. When the second someone says, I'm interested, you should be saying, what are your goals? When they say, I want to look good in a bikini, you should say, why? That's not a goal. Looking good in a bikini, we know, is not an emotional rooted why, right? We need to say, why do you want to look good in a bikini? They say, because I want to feel happy and healthy. I want to go to the pool with the kids and not be the mom that's hiding under the towel or wearing a hoodie in the middle of the winter or hiding behind the camera or always offering to take the picture because I don't want to be in the picture. That's an emotional rooted why. When we find that pain and we get to the point where they say, you know what, I think that's a little too pricey for me right now, we always point back to the pain. Now, you told me that you wanted to be that active mom in the pool. I get it. $150 is an investment. It is. And it's, probably more expensive than your local gym membership. But let me ask you this. If I could help you to be that confident mom that can jump in the pool with her kids at any time and be in front of the camera and be proud in that bathing suit, would that be worth $150? And if you don't sign with me, do you feel confident that the local gym could help you get the same results? I promise you they can't. They can't. See how I found the pain? And I pointed back. That's why we got to ask questions. They're going to give us the answers we need later on, but we got to ask for them first, okay? So next thing is, honestly, I personally feel like when it comes to convos, you should actually be intentional about seeking out people for the business opportunity. And so here's the thing. Let's just pretend, I'm making up numbers here, you're going to start 10 new conversations a day. I would highly recommend 2 or 3 of those conversations, literally in your head, you're saying, I'm going to reach out to these people for the sake of offering the coaching opportunity. Because if you're not intentional about it, chances are you'll cop out and you won't do it. I still want you to look for the opportunity in all of your other convos, but I would highly recommend picking out a number every single day and just eating that stupid frog and saying, okay, 2 people, I'm just going to approach them about the business. I'm just going to message them right now and say, hey, was thinking about you. We got a coach sneak peek coming up next week. And I was like, you know what? You're already so much full of energy and such an inspiring person. Would you be willing to just check out the coaching opportunity? Now, you don't have to cold invite like that if you don't want. You can ask about their dog first. You can tell them happy birthday first, but go in with the intention of inviting them to the coaching opportunity. Does that make sense? Okay, let me check on this chat real quick. What do you have to lose? Josh, you seriously make me want to run out in the streets shouting about our business. Christina, do it right now. Go out in the street, record it, come back, and we'll all watch the video together. So the next thing is personal development. I really think that too many times we are reading books that we want to read and not books that we need to read. And by that, I mean we're reading books that make us go, oh yeah, I do a really good job of that, right? And not books that challenge us. And if you haven't been in one of my groups and you haven't heard of this book, Megan Siani just read my mind. You should all be checking out The 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. If you are struggling with the confidence to talk about the business and to really just go all in, the 10X Rule, it will challenge you. So I swear, every single time I listen to it, he kicks my butt. Every single time, he challenges me to go do something bigger than I've done before. In fact, I have several different coaches that I'm working with right now because I was listening to him and I went home and said, Grant's right, I just got to freaking do it. And I just messaged him and I just went for it. And you know what? A bunch of them said no, a bunch of them got mad, but a bunch of them said yes, and I have a business and I stay at home and hang out with my kids. So you know what? People are going to be mad. People are going to be upset. There are going to be haters. Okay? There's going to be haters. But you have to understand that the future you and your family deserve is more valuable than anybody's stupid opinion of you on Facebook or Instagram. Come on. If you care that much about what people think of you on Facebook and Instagram, I really have to wonder. Now, hold on. This one's going to hurt. I really have to wonder how much you care about your family. If you care that much about what people on Facebook and Instagram think of you, I really have to wonder how much you care about your family. I don't know about you guys, but I would kill for my kids if I had to. Last thing on my mind is what the heck people on freaking Facebook and Instagram think of me if I've got a business I need to build for my family. And if that means I'm the guy that people laugh at church because I post selfies of myself all over the internet just to work on my freaking affinity score on Facebook, then let them laugh at me. Because my kids are a lot more valuable to me than my reputation at church. And I love the people at my church, but at the end of the day, I don't give a crap what they think of me. If that's going to hold me back from creating a life for my family. Is that sinking in with you guys? Everybody still love me? I might have just got 20 new haters. I don't know. I hope not. I hope you guys are taking this in. I hope you guys understand that I'm just trying to help you build your best life. And you will never build your best life thinking and worrying about what other people think about you. Grant Cardone says it this way: attention will bring hatred, but eventually hatred, if you persist, if you keep going, will turn into admiration. And admiration will eventually lead to sales. Why are there so many people hating on you? Because you just haven't been persistent long enough to get the admiration yet. But there is coming a day when you will be paying cash for a brand new 4Runner, when you will be paying off all your debt, when you will be building a new house, where you will be taking your family on the greatest vacation they could have ever imagined. And when people see that, they're going to be like, oh, I guess they were really onto something, huh? I guess I missed it. Do you still, I know you said you were only hiring 5 people last month, but do you still have an open spot? That hatred turns into admiration real quick, like when your success takes off. People that were making fun of me a year ago, now, guess what? Now I'm buying their dinner. And I don't mean that in a conceited or arrogant way. I just mean I love to bless people, and I've got the money to do it now. And I don't care if they did hate on me. It's like, whatever, I'll still buy you dinner. So you have got to, I said all of that to say you got to read books that challenge you. I got on a little, when the name Grant Cardone comes out, rabbit trails will happen because the dude just fires me up. Okay. So let's hit up a few mindsets that may be holding you back. And then I promise I'll close it up, but I want to hit on, I know I hit on a few mindsets, but I want to hit, what's another good one? Says Lisa Murphy. Obviously go for no. Eat that frog. You are a badass. These are all challenging books that challenge you. Okay. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with other books that don't challenge you, but I do believe that sometimes we get caught up reading books that don't challenge us. Again, they're just stuff that we're already doing, and it's real fun to read stuff that we're already doing because then we feel like the good guy, right? Read a book that will challenge you and call you out. Okay? So let's hit up a couple of these mindsets. Here's one that I absolutely love. It's my favorite one. When people tell me, I'm like, oh gosh, here we go. I got him. I'm not a successful coach. So how can I help people become successful coaches? And so people have this mindset that's holding them back from recruiting. They kind of know what to do. They know what they should do, but they're not recruiting still because there's this fear that if they do recruit people, they're not successful enough to help that person, and they'd almost be doing them a disservice to put them on their team. But I always love to answer questions with questions. I just love questions, guys. How many people on this call are health and fitness experts? Do we have any certified personal trainers or nutritionists, whatever those people, I don't even know what those people are called. They have some type of title. Anybody? I'm looking for people. Okay, we have one person. There's usually one or two. Two? Okay, so we have a few. How many people on this call have ever helped somebody lose weight? Raise your hand. Oh, that is very interesting to me that we only have 2 health and fitness experts, and yet every single person on the call has helped people lose weight. Do you see where I'm getting at here, guys? You don't have to be successful to help someone have success. You don't have to be an expert to help people. Why have you helped people lose weight? I'll tell you why. Because you have introduced them into good products with good systems, and the only thing you've had to do, you didn't even have to know what they needed to eat. They got a little booklet that came with their workout program that told them what to eat, how to calculate their calories, how to measure themselves and find their body fat percent and all that crap. And all you had to do was say, Monday is the challenge group. I'll check in with you and I'll give you accountability and I'll give you support. And as long as you do all the stuff that the company gave you to do, I'll be here to give you support and accountability, and you will have success. Am I right? So why would the coaching be any different? Lauren has great resources. Brandy has great resources. God knows Christine Dwyer has some resources. Once again, it's not your job to have all the answers. Plug them into the resources. Give them accountability. Give them support. Now, let me ask you this. How many people have had challengers who started out and didn't finish? They're not with you anymore. Raise your hand. Okay, so all of us have had challengers who started with us and then never finished. Now, how many of you are the guilty person because of that? Are you the guilty one, or are they the guilty one? Did you give them the products? Did you give them the support? Did you give them the accountability? But we soon realize some people won't use it, and some people are just going to make the decision that it's not their thing. Does that make you a bad coach? Now, with the health journey, I feel like we all understand that people are going to come and go. And we're just kind of okay with that. We just know that that's part of the thing. The business is the same thing, guys. People will come and go, whether you're the most successful coach on the planet or the least successful coach on the planet. That doesn't make you less of a leader. It just makes people people. And if you haven't figured out by now, there's a lot of people that suck. There just is. There's a lot of great people, but there's also a lot of people that suck. And those people are going to come and go, whether you do the best job or the worst job. So stop worrying about whether or not you're the greatest leader or whether or not you're the most successful coach on the planet that can help them have success. At the end of the day, the honest truth is all we can do for people is support them and give them accountability. And at the end of the day, they make the decision of whether or not they have success, not us. But if you don't give them the opportunity, think of all of the things they could be missing out on. Think of the incredible life they could have if they do choose to be successful. And what a shame it would be if they never get the opportunity because you were too scared of what they might think of you because you're not a top 10, 20,000 star coach. Nobody outside of Beachbody knows what the heck any of those words mean. And yes, I know 20,000 star isn't a thing, okay? You have just got to present the opportunity, give people support and accountability, and trust that if they stick with it and they choose to have success, that you'll get to be a part of that. And that's one of the greatest blessings in the world, is getting to be a part of someone else's success. Okay? So I think I actually hit up all of the different mindsets earlier. I got ahead of myself and hit all of them up. So the last thing I want to say is just this, that every single one of you have the ability to be as successful as you want to be, if you will be willing to focus on the right things. Okay? So your number one homework assignment was, you're going to make a video and you're going to post it in the team page talking about what frog you're going to start eating every day. And I'm just going to tell you, frogs taste like crap. So be prepared for it to suck. Okay? I'm just being real with you. I'm being honest. It's not fun for me to wake up at 7 o'clock and read and work out. And some of you are like, dude, that's so late. You're such a wuss. You're right. It is so late. That's what's ridiculous about our frogs, is if anyone else heard what they were, they would think we were ridiculous. Because none of them are really that bad. They just suck to us. It's going to feel like crap. Okay? Yes, post them in Fit Force. Everyone post them in Fit Force, okay? What's your frog? And what is your specific game plan to eat that frog? Don't just tell me, oh, I'm going to start inviting 10 people a day. No. When are you going to invite 10 people a day? Are you going to do it 7 o'clock in the morning? Are you going to do it 8 o'clock in the morning? Are you going to do it on your lunch break? Are you going to do it right after dinner? Are you going to do it right before bed? I want to hear a game plan, okay? If you do not schedule this and make it a very intentional thing, it will happen tomorrow, maybe even Wednesday, and then it's gone forever. Okay? It's got to be an intentional game plan. So the number one thing you have to do is focus on the right things, which includes eating your frog. But here's another. I want to give you a very simple task to do. This is something that I walk all of my coaching clients through. I want you to write down, what is the number one goal that I want to hit this year? The number one thing. If none of my other goals could happen, I would be happy if this one happened. I want you to write that down. And then I want you to ask yourself, what are the two main things that I have to focus on to make that happen? What are the two main things I have to focus on to make that happen? So now that you have that, here's what I need you to do. I need you to reach out to your mentor, whoever that is, whether that be your upline coach. I know sometimes we have gaps in the upline. Maybe you have to go 2 uplines, whatever the heck it is. Okay? And you need to share these things with them. What your number one goal is, and what the 2 things is you need to focus on. The 2 things is. That's not good English, but it works. And you need to give them permission to call you out on your crap. Say, this is my number one goal. These are the 2 things that I need to focus on. Will you please write it down? And can I set up some type of regular check-in with you, whether it's a call, whether it's a text message, whatever it is. And can you just ask me every single time, where are you at on your main goal? And are you still focused on the 2 things that matter? For those of you that have coaches that you're mentoring, feel free to steal that process. Ask your coaches, what is your number one goal? And what are the 2 things you need to focus on to make that happen? Don't tell them, ask them. Okay? Ask them. And then every single time you talk, it's your job to ask them, where are you at on your main goal? Where are you at on the 2 things you need to be focused on? Okay? And Megan Sayeni had something to add. Over time, he says, where are you at with 5-star? Exactly. If you're mentoring coaches, you need to know their goal better than they do. I know this isn't for everyone. I know not all of you are to the point where you're mentoring people, but I personally have a page right here. It's a notebook that sits next to me at my desk all the time. Right here, I'm only going to let you see it for half a second because those are like confidential goals, of course. But I just wanted to show you it's right there. It's got every single one of my clients' name on it. And next to that name is their number one goal and the 2 things that they have to focus on. And it sits right next to me, and I see it every day. just like they see it every day. And every time we talk, I got those things ready to go. And I've got to the point where I have most of them memorized. I don't even have to look at the paper, but I still do just to make sure. Okay? So that was a little something extra for you that are mentoring people. It's very, very, very important to be intentional with the people you're mentoring about keeping them focused and intentional, because most people don't know how to do it for themselves. If they did, I wouldn't have a career. I would still be detailing cars, and that would suck. So I thank God for humans being horrible at focusing, because that's why I have a career. So anyways, thank you guys all so much. Lauren, thank you for having me on the call. I have no idea where you're at on my page. But for anyone that says, Josh, I could really, really, really use a regular kick in the pants. Okay? I have training groups that I run. I know many of you are already in them, but some of you may not have heard of them. I have regular training groups that I run. I'm launching a brand new one called 4 Weeks to Believing in Yourself. 4 Weeks to Believing in You. I don't even know the name of my own group. And the whole point is to teach you how to gain an inner confidence and believe in your own inner rock star. I know tons of people in the company that are doing all the right stuff, but they're not getting results, and it's because they still don't believe in themselves. They believe in Shaco. They believe in Sean T. They believe in Shalene. They believe in everything except for them. And when you don't believe in you, I tell you, it comes out in your posts, in your convos, in everything you do. And no one is attracted to a person who doesn't even believe in themselves, right? People are attracted to people who already believe in themselves. We're attracted to confidence, right? John Maxwell says, if you do not value yourself, the world will not raise the price. And so it's basically 4 weeks to teach you how to value yourself and have a new level of confidence. I also have a group called The Art of Recruiting. It's my bestseller. It's phenomenal. I hate to say that about my own group, but I freaking love it. We have a blast. We really do. And it's going to help you spend 4 weeks getting intentional about the recruiting process. Emily Bowie is on here. She said it's awesome. I think Emily, if I remember right, signed. How many coaches did you sign? Where are you at, Emily? Will you chat that in for us? Where are you at, Emily? Where'd you go? I can't find you. 11. Emily signed 11 coaches going through the Art of Recruiting. And what is your normal, Emily? What do you normally recruit before the Art of Recruiting? Normal 5. She went from recruiting an average of 5 coaches to recruiting 11 coaches in a month. That's like Melissa McAllister numbers right there, okay? So I will help you get intentional. I will give you specific processes to keep you focused, because I'm all about focus on doing the right thing. So if you're interested in any of my training groups, you can go to joshuacoates.com. joshuacoates.com. My last name does not have an E in it. It's Coats. joshuacoates.com. You can check out my training groups. If you have questions about them, hit me up with a message. Feel free to message my like page where my assistant responds to all. I'm just kidding. You can message me anytime you want, and I'll be happy to answer questions for you. Also, you can check out my free ebook. If you don't have the money for my trainings right now, at least download my free ebook. But I'm going to ask you the same question I taught you to ask your people. If you don't have the money for one of my training groups, is that not a sign that something in your business needs to change? Is that not a sign that you may need some help with this thing? That you may need to make some adjustments? And if you're going to make some adjustments, why would you not want to work? And I hate to say this, I know it sounds douchey, whatever, but why would you not spend 4 weeks with the person who trains some of the top Beachbody coaches in the entire company? Why would you not? Do you not think you would get your money's worth from that? My most expensive group is $200. Imagine the money you could make over the next year if you could get over the hurdle in your business. Wouldn't that be worth $200? For most of you, it would actually be worth thousands of dollars. Right? So anyways, I'm done with the deep questions. Thank you guys all so much for hanging out with me on a Monday night. Lauren, wherever you are, it's all for you. I'll definitely answer some questions for you, Lauren. Where did she go?
You guys, if you, I'm right here. I'm up at the top, Josh, I think, anyway.
For some reason, you disappeared on mine, and I think you went to the second page.
Oh, okay. But yeah, thank you so much for talking about that, or for talking to us. I know you were like speaking right at me, but I know just from the feed that I think everybody got something to take away from this call, if not multiple things, tons and tons of golden nuggets in there. And I want everybody to go away and apply it. But while we have Josh, if he says he's able to answer a couple of questions, you guys can just go ahead and hit the little mute or unmute button in the bottom. And you can also type your question in here if you're afraid to talk. But go ahead and just speak up, and we'll give you guys about like 10 minutes, 15 minutes max for questions.
Don't you dare chat in the chat box. Unmute yourself and talk to me. Eat your frog and talk to me. I promise not to be mean. I promise. If you don't,
I'll chime in.
Okay, I gotta find you. Hold on, let me find you.
Okay.
Who am I looking for?
Laura Dieter.
Oh, there you are, Laura. I'm sorry, Laura. Yes,
okay.
I can see you. Sorry, it's awkward to hear a question from someone you can't see. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Thanks for being on tonight.
Yeah, thanks for doing this call. I love listening to you. You get me fired up. But
you're welcome.
Can you give me some input, I guess, on the breadcrumbing thing? Because I think that I'm breadcrumbing, and I'm not really breadcrumbing. Like you said on this call to specifically say, like, I'm so thankful that I can be at home right now and play outside with my kids. Like today I did a post of like all my kids grabbing everything out of the garage into the driveway and being outside. I think that I'm like giving my audience too much credit, thinking that they know, oh, that's so great. Like, I think that they are coming up with the idea that I get to stay home and isn't that great without me specifically like saying that in my post. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. So breadcrumbing doesn't always have to tell the full. I mean, the point of it is to just give them a little sample of the story to get people wondering, how come she's always at home playing with her kids? How come she's always getting to work like at Starbucks? How come she's like, you're basically trying to get them to start wondering why you have such a cool life. So that once a week, and this is something that I didn't mention, but everyone should be doing a coaching opportunity post at least once a week. I prefer Sunday nights because that's when all of my ads do the best. That's when everybody's sitting around doing nothing. So that when on Sunday night, Laura, you say, are you a mom that is sick and tired of having to choose between a career and your family? And they go, okay, I'm with you, right? And you say, for the last few years, I've been working for Beachbody where I get to be home with my family. You didn't have to say I've been working for Beachbody. You can just say, I've been working from home where I'm able to inspire and help people from the comfort of my own home. I get to provide an income while being with my family. Have you ever wondered what that life would look like? And they're like, actually, yeah, I have, because I've been watching your posts. I've really been wondering what that would look like, right? So you want to breadcrumb the things that you're going to lead up to in your call to action post. Does that make sense?
Makes complete sense. And yes, that's what I need to improve on. So thank you for clarifying that.
You're welcome. Thanks for hopping on and asking a question.
Josh, Lindsay Stanford has a question for you in the chat.
Lindsay, unmute yourself right now. Don't you dare. Where are you at? Come on.
Sorry, I'm going to wake the kids.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't know your kids were asleep. I'm sorry.
No. It's okay. I'll talk. I have no problem with talking. So my question was, so I know you said piggybacks off Laura's question, but I know you said like how to say you're thankful for doing things at home, but what about people who work full time? And like, I have people that work with me that watch my Facebook. So I can't necessarily be like, oh, I love doing this, but I'm supposed to be at work or I am at work. How would you say that for a full-time person that wants to portray like the freedom, but you don't have the freedom?
Great question. And the answer is you never portray something you don't have, because that's lying, right? So you simply portray what you do have. What has Beachbody done for you? What is, I mean, there's obviously a reason you're doing it, right? Otherwise you'd have quit a long time ago. What is Beachbody, how has it made your life better?
You want me to answer you, or is that rhetorical?
No, I want you to answer me.
Okay. So it's, I mean, right now it's providing for my son's private school, preschool. So, I mean, it's changed over time, obviously, like everybody else's.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you this. How many people are out there that wish they had enough money to pay for something like that and their job doesn't pay enough?
Right.
Is that something you could talk about?
Yes.
Okay, let's go a little deeper.
Every time, or just like new stuff?
Well, let's go a little deeper.
Okay.
There's no way that you're still a Beachbody coach just because you can afford to send your kid to private school. You could sell candles and do that. Right?
Yes.
Why Beachbody?
So I can reel it off. Team aspect, the money, the keeping myself accountable, helping others, and the whole like team like leader thing.
Okay. How
it just got her. Laura just said it got in her kick-ass shape after my second.
How many women wish they had all of those things?
A lot.
I mean, I would argue all.
Oh, yes.
So what do you think you should be talking about? Those
things.
Yes. You don't have to advertise something you don't have. Okay. And that's something that I need to fix. Okay. Cause I kind of have a common theme that I run with in my presentation, but the truth is most of you are not full-time coaches, and that's totally okay. You don't have to be a full-time coach. You just have to talk about why you are a coach. Why are you still around? Everyone that's around is around for a reason. Beachbody has had some type of significant impact on your life, and all you need to do is talk about what that significant impact is, because whatever it is, I promise you there's other women, men, whatever, that need that in their life. They're going to work every single day, paying the bills, but wishing they had a sense of purpose, wishing they had a group of like-minded people that encourage them and help them. Because how many of you work at a job that's got a positive atmosphere? Anybody? Not unless you work at Chick-fil-A. That's about the only happy work environment I've ever ran into, right? So whatever you do have, that's what you want to advertise. But here's the thing. You have to be as arrogant as a rock star, as humble as a homeless person. And what I mean by that is the changes you have seen and the things that you do have, you've got to own it. Just like Megan E. Wilson owns, you better believe she's proud about that brand new 4Runner she got, right? You should be just as proud about the things that have happened for you. Because no matter how small and insignificant they may seem to you, that's just because you're comparing them to everybody else. You're comparing them to the people who are making hundreds of thousands of dollars instead of comparing them to the people who don't have Beachbody at all. Does that make sense?
Yep. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And sorry if I woke your kids. I'm kind of loud.
No. It's okay. I'm loud too.
Okay. Who else wants in?
A question.
Okay.
I'm Adrian's husband, Nick.
Hey, dude, it's so good to see another dude. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm real good, man.
So my thing is I have multiple sclerosis, and
okay.
It's tough for me to be a product of the product as much as I want to be.
Yeah.
It's really hard for me. So I kind of feel like while I think I could be inspirational for others and to show like they can do this stuff, the exercise and coaching, like how do I get past the what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
Like to show that this stuff actually works, even though I'm not specifically a product of the product per se.
When he's not physically able to be a product of a lot of the products.
So what is it that you use? What do you use and what do you do?
Like as far as like the exercises goes, or
as far as the exercises and the supplements go?
We do the Shakeology stuff.
He's asking about you.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Okay. The only one that I found that works the best for me is the 22-minute hardcore. Which doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but
so you do the 22-minute hardcore.
I do what I can. Yeah.
Okay.
The only thing that I found that
you have multi-sclerosis, right? Did I pronounce it right?
Multiple sclerosis.
Multiple sclerosis. Okay. Yeah. If I saw a video of you knowing the condition you have, working out every single day anyways, I would watch that video 1,000 times. Okay. See, here's the thing that we don't realize so many times as humans is our greatest flaws are our greatest strengths. See, you see it as a flaw that you have something wrong with you. Wrong is how you're seeing it, right? Yeah. What I see is here is a dude that in the face of adversity still works out and drinks Shaco and encourages and inspires other people. Now, here's the thing. You probably look at people who have big, huge muscles and six-pack abs and do Body Beast every day and you're like, man, those people are inspiring, right?
Yeah.
John Maxwell says this: if you want to impress people, share your success. If you want to make an impact on people, share your weakness. Okay. See, you're sitting here thinking, well, this is a weakness and it doesn't mean anything to anybody. It's not going to help anybody. Not realizing that none of us relate to Sagi. I would never reach out to Sagi and ask him, hey, could I get some advice? Can I get some tips on staying motivated? Right? Why? Because Sagi's like perfect. Other than his language. He can't speak English for nothing. But other than that, he's perfect, right?
Yeah.
Why would I need his help? We don't reach out to perfect people for help, where Chalene Johnson would be selling challenge packs. Chalene Johnson can't sell challenge packs because she can't help any of us. She's too perfect.
Right.
We need people like you who live in real everyday life, and probably a more difficult life than what any of us have ever experienced. So if you, in the midst of all of that, can get your workout in, holy freaking crap, what's my excuse? You see how that can work to your advantage?
Yeah, no, I think if I can get fully on board with the coach thing, I think I could be pretty successful, but staying with it is another thing, I guess. That's my frog. I got a whole pond of frogs.
So here's my advice to you. If you've got a whole pond of frogs, have you ever heard this expression, how do you eat an elephant?
No.
Oh, well, okay. So it's kind of a stupid, funny thing. People say, how do you eat an elephant? You say, how? And you say, one bite at a time.
One bite at a time. Yeah.
So how do you eat a pond full of frogs? One frog at a time. Just pick one frog and eat it every single day for a month, and then pick another frog and keep doing that until a year from now, I'm speaking on your team call because you've eaten a whole pond full of frogs, and now you've got 100 coaches that have been inspired by your journey. I mean, who knows? You could literally be the face of people with some type of, issue with their body that still find a way to stay healthy and build a successful life.
Appreciate that.
Of course.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hey,
the same thing all the time.
Sometimes people just need to hear it from somebody else, man. I've never taught a single new concept that I've ever created. It's just that sometimes people need a different story or a different version, or they just need to hear it from somebody else. So thank you for your question, and thank you for being vulnerable with us, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
It's always good to see another dude. It happens very rarely. So
I sent you a message, but just so you know, you should follow him, and I can't remember his name if somebody wants to. I'm blanking. He doesn't have legs, and he's an elite coach. And it's just because he inspires people through just sharing what he can do. And hey, like, if I can do this, then you certainly can. So, I mean, he's amazing. It's going to drive me crazy. I'm going to have to go look him up. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. I think Kelsey said she was up. She had a question.
Hi, Josh.
What's up?
You are awesome, first of all. I am so motivated right now. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question about do you have any tips, or if one of you are like, is it the art of recruiting or the leadership one would be beneficial as far as like mentoring coaches, but still like keeping that fast-paced recruiting up? Like, I'm so focused on recruiting, but then I feel like I'm not giving these coaches enough attention. And
okay.
So
how many coaches a month do you recruit?
I would say not like Emily, 4 or 5.
Okay. What is your rank?
Diamond.
Okay. What is your biggest goal this year?
To hit 2-star by Summit.
To hit 2-star by Summit. Okay. So what do you think you need more of to hit 2-star by Summit? Do you think you need more help mentoring people, or do you need to recruit more people?
Recruit more.
Okay.
Probably.
I mean, I'm asking you. I'm not trying to give you the answer. I'm asking you. Okay. So which one do you think you should do?
Recruit more. But then I feel like I have I have a lot of coaches actively working this business too. It's just like that fine line.
Do you think that if you learned a crap ton of stuff about recruiting, you might be able to pass some of it on to them?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. The Art of Leading, I absolutely love. It's one of my favorite training groups. I say that about all of them. No, I really do love it. It really will teach you the process and systems of motivating and mentoring your team. But this is just my personal advice. Diamond is not quite the level to dive in too deep to mentoring, because too many coaches try to do that. They get lost in the process of mentoring. They stop hitting their own numbers, and they never, ever, ever go beyond Diamond. And some of them are stuck there for 3 or 4 years, just going back and forth between Diamond and Ruby. Mm-hmm. True leadership starts with modeling, and then moves to motivating, and then moves to mentoring, and then multiplying. So you have to keep modeling forever. You never get to stop. And if you do ever stop, no one will want to be motivated or mentored by you, right? Mm-hmm. Nobody wants to be motivated by last year's news. They want to be motivated by someone who's doing something now, okay?
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's no reason you can't go through one now and another later, right? Mm-hmm. But I really do think that you should recruit yourself to at least 1 star. That's just my opinion, and Lauren may disagree with that, and she's more than welcome. This is her team. She can obviously tell you if she disagrees. But I don't see any reason why, if 1 star is in your own power, why people wouldn't make that happen on their own. Probably have a spouse, right, that you put under you, right? He's probably an emerald right now, right?
No, he's not.
Okay. Well, you can make him an emerald, and you can also make him a diamond. Now, I'm not saying that should be your very next step, because I don't know how strong of a diamond you are, okay? Talk to your upline about that, okay? Because I'm not looking at your downline right now. But if you keep recruiting, remember, a leader is simply someone who is moving forward and willing to take people with them. There's no reason in the world you can't still take some people with you, okay? But my suggestion would be, at the diamond level, pick 2 people, okay? Mm-hmm. 2 people. Set up regular calls with them and do exactly what I said earlier. What's your main goal? What are the 2 things you need to focus on? Have like a bi-weekly or a monthly call, depending on, whether you work a full-time job or whatever you can fit into your schedule, and check in with them regularly and treat them like you would a challenger. I mean, if you had a challenger and you wanted to help them lose weight, what would you do? Check in with them every day, right? Just see how they're doing. How you doing on your goals, right? You don't have to spend like 45 minutes a day with them. You can literally just shoot them a text. Hey, how's it going? How are you doing? Blah, blah. Build a relationship with them. You know what I'm saying? But then set up some type of regular calls to just check in on their goals.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
That makes complete sense. And when do we have to sign up for the Art of Recruiting in May, or is it full already?
So it starts at May 9th. To be honest, I don't even know how many spots are left in it, but as long as there's spots left, that's when you have to enroll by. Once it's sold out, it's sold out, but I don't know exactly how many spots are left. My assistant kind of watches over all that for me.
Okay. If it says it's still available online, like I can really add to cart, does that mean it's still?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. If you can click on it, you can buy it. I mean, if it takes your money, you got a spot.
Thanks. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I know, Meg, right? So fancy, huh? My girl Meg Cyane on tonight. Hi, Meg.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. I ate my frog today.
You ate your frog. What'd you do?
You told me to send 20 IG invites, and I sent 25.
So this girl straight up told me that if she had a keyboard that could attach to her phone, she'd be a 15-star. So on the spot, I Googled keyboards for your iPhone and made her buy one.
And I'm getting one for my assistant.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Did anybody else have any questions? Any questions?
Hello?
Hello.
I'm sorry. I have a question.
You don't have to apologize for having a question.
Well, my kids we're doing bath time. It's not so big.
That's cool. No, it's okay. I got 3 kids on the other side of the door. What's up?
My question to you is when you have a kind of wall, especially with my posting, I think you said a lot when you were saying, like, did you ever sell challenge packs from your posts?
Mm-hmm.
I think I have a very specific story, almost like Nick and Adrian, where I'm a preemie mom and I quit to take care of him, not because I wanted to be a mom. So I guess my question to you is, because I think to the masses, I don't want to say I'm not relatable, but I'm not sure how to translate my story that's so specific into, I guess, sales and recruiting, if that makes sense.
So you don't think your story is relatable because you think it's too specific?
I think I draw people in with my story, but I think people are coming more because of pity or because they're nosy and they just kind of want to find out. Like, maybe I'm not like wrapping it up right, where I'm bringing it into, this is my life and this is how I'm excelling past it and this is the career path I've chosen. Come and join me.
Yeah. That was a good wrap up right there. I think if you just did that, you would be awesome. So here's the thing. So there are some people that I've worked with, Meg's success partner is one of them, that struggle because their story is kind of, it's like sad enough that people come to them looking for someone. Basically, they have a bunch of other sad people coming to them that want to work with them, and a bunch of sad people don't necessarily make a real positive team, do they? Right? So what you've got to do is tell your story, but then end it with stuff like you just said. You got to call out to people who aren't just sad, but people who are sad and ready to make changes. Are you someone like me who has struggled with this, but you are ready to own your goals and move forward in life? If that's you, comment below and let's chat about how to help you rock your goals. Now, you start saying stuff like that, sad, mopey people don't want to talk to you anymore, right? Because they don't want to own their goals. They just want to be sad and mopey, and they want someone to be sad and mopey with. So it's okay to still tell your story, but one, make sure you close it out with some good, powerful stuff that says to people, basically, in a nutshell, don't contact me unless you're ready to go with me kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Not in those words. The other thing I would highly suggest is you go find people. Get on Instagram. Go search through the hashtags that you would normally use, looking for motivated and inspiring people. Connect with them, build relationships with them, and invite them to the coaching opportunity. In other words, seek out your ideal coach. Too many times we sit around waiting for our ideal person to come to us, and the truth is we got to seek them out. I didn't build a business by sitting around waiting for my ideal client to find me. I went out messaging tons of people just to figure out who my ideal client was. And then when I found out my ideal client was a successful Beachbody coach, I went through my friend suggestions, friend requesting every single person with a professional profile picture. And I went through messaging those people and offering them free calls. And I was seeking out the people that I wanted to work with. Does that make sense? And you can do the exact same thing. Seek them out, build a relationship with them, invite them to the coaching opportunity, and start building your ideal team instead of just settling for whoever comes to you. Does that help? Okay, cool. I think you muted yourself. I can't hear you, but it looks like you're saying, yes, that helps. Okay, cool. Thanks for your question. Anybody else? I might just go get a coffee and hang out all night if you guys just want to chat all night. I mean, I don't have anywhere to be.
I'm going to go ahead and just say that that's up. That's good. If last chance, y'all. Hold your peace. If you don't speak up now.
Can I just put you in my ear all day? Do you have recording so I can just
on his website he has podcasts.
I do have a podcast that I've neglected a little bit due to launching a lot of new training groups recently. But the game plan is to get my assistant working on that crap for me so that I can get more content up and going. But I have a free book. You can go to joshuacoast.com, download the free book. And I guess you could copy and paste it to yourself and have Siri read it to you. That way you wouldn't have to read it if you didn't want to. Maybe I should do an audiobook. Should I do an audiobook?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll listen to audiobooks instead of actually sit down and read them.
I know. I don't know what I was thinking, actually writing a book with words.
Yeah. And I was telling Josh the other day, I just started YouTubing his name, and he's done tons of team calls. So you can just start popping those up and start watching them.
Yeah. I've basically done one a week, at least one a week for the last year. So there should be plenty of material for you to go through.
All right, guys. Yeah, somebody said follow Legacy Leadership on YouTube. So
yes, thank you, Sharon.
All right. Well, thank you again, Josh, so much. This was amazing. And thanks to all of you guys who hung out with us this whole time and listened to questions and stuck around. Make sure you check into Fit Force with your video and your frog. I'll do mine. My kids are gone now. They're late night swimming at the pool with Daddy, but I'll do mine now. And make sure you do yours. Check in. That's one of the first frogs. Make a video and do it. So, all right. I guess that's it. Josh, I think you're going to hang around for a sec, right?
Yeah, I sure can. Yes.
All right. All right. Bye. Bye, guys.
Night, everybody.